She said I'd regret losing her after she cheated, but she's the one falling apart while I'm thriving with someone who never treated me like an option. I never thought I'd be the kind of person writing a novel-length confession on Reddit, but here I am, because sometimes a story grows so heavy inside you that you either share or choke on it. And honestly, what happened to me still feels like a movie someone wrote without asking my permission. I'm Ethan, 30 now, but 28 when everything started unraveling. I worked as a forensic accountant back then, the quiet guy in the corner who could find financial irregularities the way some people find shapes in clouds. And for years, I thought I'd built a solid life with my girlfriend, Madison. We met in college. We built routines. We planned futures. We were the couple who everyone thought had already mentally bought their first Labrador and chosen baby names. For a long time, that felt true to me. She used to be a third-grade teacher. She'd come home with glitter in her hair and stories about kids, saying hilariously weird things. I'd sit next to her with my spreadsheet printouts, and she'd doodle hearts on my notes. We talked about buying a little house near Clearwater, maybe adopting a dog, maybe starting a retirement fund we'd laugh about, because we still felt young. It was ordinary in the best way. And then she got the job at the Halo Modern Arts Gallery downtown, and everything shifted like someone flipped the entire axis of our world without warning. I remember the first week. She came home buzzing about her new boss, Alec, some self-proclaimed visionary with a perfectly tailored jacket and no tie, like he invented the concept of casual sophistication. Suddenly, my girlfriend who used to shop Target clearance racks started talking about artisanal textiles and post-disciplinary frameworks. I swear she said bourgeois constraints once, and I physically turned my head to make sure she wasn't being sarcastic. Spoiler, she wasn't. The cardigans disappeared. The modest makeup turned into sharp eyeliner and dark lipstick. Her flats turned into statement boots. I didn't recognize the woman I was living with, but I kept telling myself people grow, evolve, change. I didn't want to be the boyfriend who said, "Hey, stop becoming someone new." I wish I'd paid more attention to the difference between growth and transformation into someone unrecognizable. What really got weird was how often she brought up Alec. He believed in her untapped creative potential. He was helping her develop a brand. He was giving her intensive mentorship. The mentorship somehow required late-night strategy dinners at restaurants where the plates were basically abstract sculptures with microgreens. I asked once if I could join them, just to support her. She gave me this awkward smile like she was embarrassed of me. Me, the guy who supported every dream she'd had for 9 years, and said, "It's more a professional thing, babe. You'd be bored." Right, because listening to two people discuss art installations made of broken stop signs would apparently overwhelm my accountant brain. The emotional distance crept in quietly. The eye rolls. The sighs. The "you just don't understand the art world, Ethan." She started acting like the life we built together was some outdated version of herself she'd grown past. Like our plans were childish. Like I was childish. And I honestly would have kept rationalizing all of it until the night she accidentally left her laptop open while she showered. A message popped up, just a preview, from Alec, and the words I saw made my stomach fall, so hard I felt dizzy. I shouldn't have clicked the thread. I know that. But when someone writes, "I miss your body already," it's not exactly an ambiguous situation. There were months of messages. It started innocent enough. Gallery planning, schedules, upcoming exhibitions. Then it slipped into compliments that cross lines. Then jokes. Then confessions. Then explicit details. Then fantasies. Then plans. And by the end, they were writing about how to ease me out of the relationship. How to make me feel boring. How to make me doubt myself enough to leave on my own so she wouldn't look like the villain. Reading it was like watching an autopsy of my relationship while the corpse was still warm. My hands shook so badly I almost dropped her laptop. She'd been lying about everything. The late-night strategy sessions, the weekend gallery retreats, the professional development seminars that were actually romantic getaways funded with the gallery expense account. They even joked about how clueless I was. I didn't confront her. I didn't yell. I didn't break anything. That's not my style. My training is slow down, gather evidence, construct a plan, execute with precision. And for the first time in my life, I applied it to something personal. For the next 3 days, I acted normal while quietly erasing myself from her life. I blocked her on every social platform, deleted every photo of us, removed her access to every streaming account she freeloaded from, packed every item she ever left at my place into neat boxes, changed the locks, updated my emergency contacts, closed and reopened bank accounts. Hell, I even switched gyms. Then I moved the rest of my stuff to a storage unit while she was off on another networking conference with a man who was unlocking her creative soul. On Sunday night, she came home to nothing. No key access, no boyfriend, no photos, no digital trace, no confrontation. Just the cold reality of everything she'd thrown away. She spiraled almost instantly. I know because her sister reached out asking what the hell happened. Then my friends told me she'd been calling them, crying, insisting I must be in danger. She made fake accounts. She tried emailing my coworkers. She showed up at my office and was told I was working remote. And even though she'd cheated, manipulated, degraded me, I felt nothing except a quiet, strange sense of closure. Meanwhile, karma started eating her life alive. Alec got bored with her. It took maybe 6 weeks before he shifted his attention to his 23-year-old assistant. His version of mentoring apparently had a pattern. Praise, grooming, affair, discard, repeat. Madison didn't handle it well. First came the insecurity, then jealousy, then the breakdowns. Then she confronted the assistant. Then she confronted him. Then she confronted clients. And eventually she got fired for creating drama at a gallery event, publicly accusing Alec of exploiting her. The worst part? She wasn't wrong. But no one believed her because she'd played along when she thought she was winning. Her credibility was ash. She had to move back home to a small town in Alabama, where her parent apparently read her the riot act for wrecking her life over a fantasy. She couldn't get another gallery job. Her social media turned from glossy art photos to inspirational quotes about resilience and starting over, mixed with sunset pictures taken in fields behind her parents' house. She eventually got a job at a craft store. Yeah, the girl who spent months lecturing me about aesthetic sophistication now helps customers pick scrapbooking stickers. Meanwhile, my entire life transformed. I joined a sailing club, started therapy, rebuilt my confidence. Turns out, when you stop living in constant fear of disappointing someone, you sleep better. Like, unbelievably better. I made new friends. People who valued teamwork and precision, not pretentious nonsense. People who made me laugh. People who actually wanted me around. My therapist helped me see how much of myself I lost trying to keep Madison's mood stable. How often I bent myself into shapes to avoid her passive-aggressive comments. I didn't even realize how exhausted I'd been. And then, about a year after everything blew up, I met someone. Her name is Lily, a marine archaeology grad student I met as sailing regatta, and to say she's different from Madison is an understatement so big it's almost comical. She asks about my work, and actually listens. She has passions that aren't about impressing anyone. She's curious. She's grounded. She's kind. When we talk, it feels like breathing. When we disagree, it feels safe. When we plan things, it feels mutual. We're building a life, not performing one. The first time I posted a picture of us together at a race, it took less than 24 hours of Madison to find it through her fake accounts. She melted down online, posting cryptic comments about not wanting to live anymore. I didn't play a hero. I contacted crisis services in her area and her parents. Let professionals handle it. That was the last time I let her pull on any leftover guilt. Months passed. Lily and I kept building something real. Something steady. Something I didn't even know I needed until I felt it. And then, because chaos always tries one last time, Madison showed up at a mutual friend's engagement party 18 months later, dragging along a rental boyfriend she clearly hired to make me jealous. It was embarrassing for everyone. The guy couldn't keep his lies straight. By the time he fumbled the name of his own startup, he bailed out the back door and never returned. She cornered me outside afterward, mascara streaked, voice shaking, telling me she'd made a horrible mistake, that she'd been manipulated, that she'd thrown away the only person who ever loved her, that she was my soulmate, that Lily would never understand me the way she did. But she wasn't crying because she loved me. She was crying because she'd lost every backup plan she'd ever tried to juggle. I looked at her and felt pity. Nothing else. No longing. No curiosity. No temptation. It was like looking at a ghost of a life I barely recognized. I told her gently that I was happy, that I hoped she found whatever healing she needed. But I wasn't going back. She got angry then, told me I was ungrateful, cold, unforgiving. She said, "You'll regret this, Ethan. You'll regret losing me." And for the first time, I actually laughed. Not cruelly, just in disbelief, because I finally saw the truth. The person she thought she was in my life never actually existed. She walked away in tears. Lily walked over a minute later, having seen the tail end of it. She didn't demand an explanation, didn't get jealous, didn't make it a competition. She just took my hand and said, "You okay?" That's it. That's the moment I knew I was done grieving anything about my past. That's the moment I realized how good love feels when it's not conditional. Lily and I got engaged a year later. Now we're running a nonprofit sailing program for underprivileged kids, blending her love for maritime history with my love for structured planning. It's the kind of thing Madison never would have understood, because it doesn't photograph well for Instagram, but it changes real lives. Looking back, I don't regret disappearing from Madison's life. I regret staying as long as I did. She was right about one thing, though someone ended up regretting losing someone. She just got the roles reversed.